We just ask you for wisdom and knowledge, and Lord, we just ask you bless us, bless our first responders and all the citizens of Elkhart County. And we just thank you, Lord, for the privilege of serving on this board. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hear ye, hear ye. The Elkhart County Commissioners are now in session. There having no business brought before them. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. We'll call the meeting of the Elkhart County Board of Commissioners to order December 15th, 2025. The first is the approval of minutes of December 8th, 2025. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Allowance of claims.
Good morning. I have payroll and regular claims that have been reviewed and are ready for your approval and signatures, please.
Morning, Patty.
Bob?
Make a motion to approve claims.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Under business, commissioners, consideration of independent contractor agreement with Blake Eckelbarger.
Does anybody else hear the echo?
It's like a hum.
Morning, Commissioner. Steve Olson, County Attorney. First item under business is the consideration of independent contractor agreement with Blake Eckelbarger. This includes an addendum providing the required contractual provisions as well.
Motion to approve, including the addendum.
Second.
This is a reminder that this is for the
This is in connection with the courthouse clock.
of the historic Goshen Courthouse. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Letter B, consideration of special purchase resolution for planning department permitting software.
Commissioners, I'll begin by kind of explaining special purchase resolutions since we have 4 of them in a row for the public and the press. Special purchase resolutions are adopted when there are specific statutory reasons to proceed forward with a path other than bid quote procedures. Those provided under a series of statutes. This first one is a special purchase for permitting software licensing and services. This is being presented from your planning department. This represents a unique opportunity to obtain goods and services at a substantial savings to Elkhart County and represents a special purchase that includes data processing or licensing for software programs. Therefore, under Indiana Code 522.10.5 and 10.7, the statutory basis for special purchase has been authorized, and this is for ultimate signature by the county commissioners.
Motion to approve the permitting software.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Letter C, consideration of special purchase resolution for landfill track loader.
specifically for drug testing. And so we have existing equipment, and it's time for an update on that equipment according to the courts department. They've reviewed a series of vendors and have identified this to be the
So
greatest
we didn't-
savings to the county.
We didn't purchase this with the new courthouse. We were taking old equipment over there and now they're upgrading it.
Correct. And this will be utilized in more than just the courthouse, but the courts is who it gets processed under.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Thank you. Letter F, consideration of independent contractor agreement with SJCA.
SJCA Inc. is another engineering company. We've worked with them to get them on our approved list for the independent contractor agreement. This includes our standard contractual language incorporated herein and the appropriate ability for them to enter into task orders following this independent contractor agreement being approved.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Consideration of independent contractor agreement with OpenGov.
OpenGov Inc. is the company that's going to be doing your permitting and software. We'll see the task order for that here in just a second. But the first item is the independent contractor agreement that incorporates the standard contractual language adopted by ordinance 2025-43.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Letter H, consideration of task order with OpenGov.
This task order, of course, is incorporating the independent contractor agreement that was adopted less than 2 seconds ago. This is with OpenGov Inc. The scope of services for this is to allow for new permitting software so that our contractors in Elkhart County can utilize this new software. This has been processed through the planning department, also been presented many times before county council, making sure that all appropriations were in place and funding was available for this year. The initial amount for year one is $236,389.42, and this will be a complete upgrade to the software for permitting with the planning department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Letter I, consideration of independent contractor agreement with Siemens Healthcare.
The independent contractor agreement with Siemens Healthcare is just as it states. It incorporates the standard contractual language, meets the requirements as adopted by ordinance 2025-43, and is ready for your approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. J, consideration of independent contractor agreement with American Platform Services.
American Platform Services is also known as the Record Exchange. This is a company that primarily works with the court system, but we want to make sure it was available for all in Elkhart County for purposes of maintaining recordings and reviewing those recordings. So this independent contractor agreement incorporates the standard contractual language under ordinance 2025-43.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. K, consideration of task order with USI Consultants.
USI Consultants, Inc. has an independent contractor agreement dated December 8, 2025. This task order incorporates the terms under that independent contractor agreement. This is in connection with bridge number 254. This has a current scope of services to be able to address all of those bridges' needs. We're looking at a topographic survey that's going to cost $27,500, an abbreviated engineer's report at $41,500. So the total for a fixed fee basis is $69,000. And then we do have special investigation services under this with a not to exceed of $5,000 that will be performed on an hourly basis according to the schedule provided.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Letter L, consideration of revocation of license with Northern Indiana Public Service Company and approval of easement and memorandum of easement with NIPSCO.
All right, this has two parts to it. First is the revocation of a license. You may recall this board previously adopted a license to serve these exact needs. NIPSCO is going to be the provider that allows for Northern Biogas or our ultimate provider of transfer services from the landfill gas to a usable gas purpose. And then NIPSCO will ultimately be the customer of that. They have requested that we transfer this from a license to an easement. We've incorporated the terms necessary from the license into the easement. And so we have this both as a easement and memorandum of easement. We're asking for approval both of the revocation of the prior license and approval of the new easement with memorandum of easement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thanks. Planning, request to open bids for the Prairie Creek Run Water Project 2026.
Good morning. Jackie Masters, Utilities Coordinator with Planning.
Good morning.
I will be opening up the bids for the PCR water project for 2026. First up is Niblock. And this is for $3,498,945 with 75 cents. $3,498,945 with 75 cents. Next up is Selge Construction. Can't seem to find this one. Yes.
There. Is somebody here from Selge? Why don't you come up and see if you can find the number that we need?
And this one is for 4,143,000 with, sorry, let me repeat that. 4,143,700 with 25 cents. This one is for C&E Excavating. And it is for $4,927,030. HRP Construction. And it is for $4,622,466. Last one is for H&G Underground Utilities. It is for $4,460,000. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. $4,460,791.73.
Make a motion for staff to review and come back with a recommendation.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second to accept the bids for staff review and come back with a recommendation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
Letter B, request approval of Warner Farms represented by Innovative Communities Incorporated Land and Boundary LLC for secondary approval, 6-lot major subdivision known as Rock Point Second, east side of County Road 29, north of County Road 34 in Elkhart Township.
Morning, Commissioners. Danny Dean, Planning and Development. Yep, this is the second and final phase of Rock Point. The first phase is the 5 lots that you can see along the west side of this of the pink boundary. Those were completed something like 15 years ago, and so the landowner is here wishing to complete the second and final phase. Before you today is just the right-of-way dedication, a small area right on County Road 29. This received Plan Commission approval back in October and Plat Committee approval for the secondary in November, or September and November for those 2 approvals. The roads, there's one single road for serving the 6 large estate lots here, and that road will be private on an easement that is established for it. So the dedication is just the normal amount of 40-foot dedication, just a small rectangular area way over on the left side of that drawing. And that's what's before you today for dedication acceptance. I can do my best to answer any questions that you might have, and I do see that the landowner's representative is here today.
So when we say a private road, they understand that there's no plowing, there's no pothole filling,
Yeah,
there's no drainage issues that the county is going to be responsible for.
that's true. That's true. And in addition to that, there are maintenance agreements that are referenced directly on the plat that you would be signing today. So that will be made clear to the eventual lot owners in a variety of ways.
So again, that is my concern, because when people buy these individual properties, they're saying, oh, this is a lovely new road. Oh, this is wonderful. And then they get mad at the county when we don't come and plow.
I understand. The landowner's representative, Innovative Communities, may be able to say a little bit more about exactly how he intends the owners to have that information conveyed to them.
Thank
If
you.
you want to talk to him.
Okay,
So anything else for me at this time?
thank you. Is the representative want to come and speak? You don't have to, but welcome to.
I mean, you may.
Yeah.
Oh.
Little static.
Good morning, right?
Good yeah, good morning. My name is Tim Saylor with Innovative Communities. For the record, my office is located at 697 Bungalow Drive in Napanee. We have a couple of features that we're trying to go above and beyond to make sure that the future residents understand that this is indeed a private road. Obviously, we have a recorded, entirely separate document that has already been recorded that is now referenced on the plat, which states very clearly that it is a public road and that each of the 6 lot owners are responsible for the maintenance of that private drive.
mean,
And
Private road, not a public road.
correct. Did I say public? Okay, I'm sorry. Strict that from the private drive, and they are responsible for that in perpetuity. The covenants and restrictions address this issue as well. Perhaps the most obvious fact is that this all came about because the highway department, we wanted to deviate from the highway standards. We had originally pursued this as a public road. However, they were inflexible with their standards. So this private driveway is both more narrow than a standard public street. It does not have curb and gutter like a standard street. It will physically look different from and be very obvious that this is not a public county road. So it'll be evident from the get-go that this is something quite different.
So what happens when we get a foot of snow and the residents?
Can't get a plow through there because it's too narrow.
Then they're on their own.
Okay.
It's allowed. I mean, if they want to do this, this is one of the interesting issues because it's easier for the developer to say, yes, this is a private drive. And then the homeowner spends, these look like nice sized lots. I can't imagine they're going to be $100,000 homes. And then they get aggravated when they don't understand that the road doesn't last and they actually have to pay, oh, what's the average rate? 1.2 million I forget what the designation is, but it's not good. And there's no way you can widen the road and make it a public drive, so it can be plowed for the plow to turn around and come back out with their individual trucks or anybody, right? I mean, you guys have explored all that and that's not an option right now.
Absolutely. We would, initially, again, sort of in the public sphere, we had pursued this for a period of over a year of building this as a public.
Right, but you didn't want to meet the standards, and the standards are there to protect several things of the county's assets, including being able to plow proper drainage and all of those things. So, I mean, this isn't any of our first rodeo. I just want to beat a dead horse publicly, I guess, about the public versus private.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Anything else you would like to say?
No.
Okay, well, we're going to open up for a public hearing. So we'll open that hearing up now. And so if you'd like to speak in favor of this, please come on up. If in favor. Okay, how about opposed? Anybody come forward? If you want to speak, just come up to the mic, state your name and city or address if you want it to be more applicable in our consideration for you in light of this rezoning. And then typically you have 3 minutes. So you may proceed. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chris Shetler. I live at 62518 County Road 29, which is part of Rock Point 1. I'm going to articulate my concerns in a specific way for the purpose of putting them on the public record today. Here's a summary of what I've been dealing with since we moved into our house in March of 23. Steve Warner is the petitioner that is developing the subdivision, Rock Point Second, directly east of my property. He is also the developer that petitioned you in 2011 to build my subdivision, Rock Point One. When we moved in, we discovered an open tile discharging raw sewage into a ditch that flows through my property. None of this was disclosed to me. However, in the process of trying to get this remediated, it was disclosed to me by a former county health department employee, Mark, that Elkhart County knew this was an issue for many years. It was also disclosed to me by Steve Warner in a private conversation that he knew this problem for around 10 years prior to developing my lot. Somehow this was ignored by Steve Warner and Elkhart County when he developed Rock Point One. Now he's petitioned the county to develop Rock Point Second, through which the same ditch carrying raw sewage flows. Up to this point, the county has ignored this same issue. I'm here today to ask the commissioners to withhold the approval of this subdivision until this raw sewage issue is resolved. The county commissioners, the health department, and the land developers all have a responsibility to protect the public's health and safety. Not only is it a responsibility, it is a legal obligation. The county told me this was a difficult situation, and now I'm stuck with it. Rock Point Second has now made it through to the final step, and the county is still ignoring the problem. It is perplexing to me, especially when you consider the new subdivision is completely affected by it. My question to you as the county commissioners is, if you approve this subdivision and my children or some children in the new subdivision get sick or dies, who is liable? And is that negligence? This certainly feels like it to me. I don't know what else I can do to bring this to your attention. I also don't know how you can ignore this any more blatantly. I've been wondering how this petition has passed through all the checks that the county has in place, and I can't help but wonder if the petitioner sitting on the Plat Commission and the Plan Commission has anything to do with bypassing the public's health and safety concerns. This is not a huge ask. This problem must be fixed. I don't really care if there's a subdivision behind me. I care about the raw sewage.
Can I ask a question? So where is your house at?
My house is right. Yeah, right there. That top.
I'm sorry, can someone move the arrow?
I can't see it.
You're not tall enough to point. Right there.
All right, so where's the raw sewage at coming,
Where
going?
that arrow is, you see that flow path that comes down through?
Uh-huh.
So that comes, it comes out right from that field north of me through that ditch, flows through a tile down through there.
And how do you know that that's raw sewage?
Because the county tested it. The county health department tested it and confirmed.
Okay.
It's also been cameraed by the county surveyors, and they found growth they said should not be in there, and it's it shouldn't be in there if it was just field drainage. So there's organics in there. Also, the county is dye tested, and it was confirmed with dye that there was a septic tank hooked to it, at least one so far.
I kind of want staff to address this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chris, do I sit down?
You
want me to
might
stand?
get called back up, but.
Okay.
Sit in the front row.
Good morning, May Kratzer, Plan Director. This is a known issue at the county level. It was a known issue throughout tech. I will explain how they're separate. I know it's sewage obviously impacts the development we're talking about today. However, the development that's occurring today will not fix or further hinder that sewage issue. The sewage issue is isolated to a concern the health department needs to address to pinpoint what property, if one or more properties has a failed septic system, and have them address that.
So how would this pass tech review knowing that it's a potential for impacting other homes?
Because the new development does not hinder nor
But
provide
it
a
will be.
solution.
Right, but the problem is still going to be present. So why would this pass tech if the problem's still present?
Because when we look at subdivision standards, we don't consider off-site sewage impacting the site. That's not a standard.
But you include drainage to impact the site, so this is draining.
The issue is not a volume of drainage. Like we look at drainage in terms of, hey, can it handle the capacity of drainage? It's the issue of what's in the drainage. So it's a health department concern versus a.
So you don't have health department on tech?
We do, but they're only looking at the septic sites that would be on this property, not off-site.
So on I think that it will impact at least one, possibly well, I don't know, the number of properties based on the original drawing that they have to divide that. Um, those individual properties are going to have to do what extra? And once it's approved here, you don't have the say, but yet I have to tell you, considering all of the money that we continue to put in and we just approved for Prairie Creek Run, all of the problems that we have to come in and clean afterwards, this is a gross misoversight or however to state it. I'm more annoyed with this than the private drive. This is an absolute health issue.
It is a huge health concern. And again, that's the health department. My limitation is bringing you a subdivision that meets all subdivision standards.
And
But
so,
this is all part of the original subdivision, correct?
No, this is a brand new subdivision,
So it's the second phase or third phase?
second phase.
Second phase?
Yeah. No, it's a very unpleasant issue. I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I would urge you to,
Modify our ordinance to
I
accommodate.
wouldn't say that. I'd say the issue stems from,
This is a known issue on tech. We have,
I would also say, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Susie, but this has been an issue since the development of that subdivision. So this being developed brings it to your attention, right? Because it's in a public meeting, but it's something that should have been addressed over 5-10 years ago. It's been going on for a very long time.
so the other caveat I will say for you for later is if there's an issue like this, it needs to be addressed and resolved and not just shoved aside as a health problem. Maybe health needs to be more integral as part of the tech review. So I don't know how we want to fix that in our
I think
process.
I think the health department's very integral into our tech review on new development, what's happening on that site. I think it's very important that the county health department, hear that that's important to you and that's where we want to spend resources. Because
Well,
it's
I'd
a huge
rather
concern.
they were addressed now than later. Because this is what, phase 3 or 4 for Prairie Creek Run?
Yeah,
So I mean, it doesn't go away.
oh yeah, it's a compounded issue, certainly.
so I see members of the health department here. Would you like to come up and address some of this?
You were hiding. I didn't see you.
I was trying. No. Melanie Sizemore, Health Department. We are aware of these circumstances and we're working on it. We've been doing dye testing. Not all homeowners are approving us to go into their home and do the dye testing. So some of this may take a court order and involve our attorney. So that'll take a lot of time to make that all happen.
So roughly, when you send someone out to do dye testing, how much does that cost the county?
That would be a better Carla question. I really don't know. It's the time and the cost of the dye, which the dye itself is very expensive.
And knowing then that on this one individual's property, not even all of what's affected with the new development, the remediation of that issue costs.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
so
it could into the tens of thousands possibly
per property.
per property.
And the problem is you can only dye test one at a time
Correct.
because otherwise you won't know where the source is.
Right.
Do you know what they're finding? What type of bacteria?
Human bacteria for the most part. Yeah.
So that means in this first subdivision, are we to suggest that when it was built, that at least one house the septic was hooked into this tile?
Correct.
But we don't know. There could be more.
There could be more. Yes.
And that's why we're running into the homeowners aren't letting us test to ascertain that.
Correct. Because that would cost them.
So the proper role of government, of course, is to protect people and to protect their safety. But in this particular case, the homeowners are saying, no, we're not going to allow the government in to dye test.
Well, some of them, obviously, ones here that said
Right.
yes.
Yes, we've had one.
Just one out of all these houses here.
Yes.
So I guess, and then we come to this subdivision, this phase 2, that sewage is going to run through this property.
Potentially, that's probably a better May or Carla question, but yeah.
Okay.
In any circumstance, you do not want sitting raw sewage on a property.
Let me table this.
So how do we know, so either the developer or the owner, knowing this, how were you proposing to mitigate that? Or maybe you didn't know it, but either way, comment on that, please.
One key point I'd like to clarify for the record. The situation that's been described was not created by the developer or the petitioner before you. It was not created as part of phase 1 of this original development. It exists upstream of Rock Point phase 1. Rock Point phase 2 is downstream from that. So the issue was not in any way, shape, or form created by the developer, nor was it created by the landowner, Mr. Shetler, or any of the lot owners of Rock Point. It was created by individuals upstream on property never owned by the developer at any time. They have apparently failing, at least one or more failing septic systems, which are attached to a drain which discharges apparently onto Mr. Shetler's property. He bears the brunt of it because that's where it outlets. As it's been stated, this has been a problem that has been known for many, many years. And our understanding was that Bill Hartseff of the health department had been in contact with you, the commissioners, to work to resolve these issues. So we were proceeding with the development, not to ignore the issue, but to understand that it is a health department issue working in concert with the elected officials to address this because the developer has no power over the situation.
Okay, I get all that, but it still doesn't address the issue that it hasn't been fixed yet. The county is working on it. So how do you intend to mitigate that during phase 2?
Well, the solution that was proposed by Bill Hartseff of the health department was for the developer to pay to connect a tile that would literally then connect
With a creek.
with the creek. And obviously the county surveyor and the drainage board said, no way, no how. The solution is not to pump it down to the ditch as fast as possible. So again, it returns to.
Well, could the developer put in a subdivision sewer system?
No, it's not financially viable.
Right, but it's either financially viable for you or the county or the homeowner to clean it up. So,
It should.
I mean,
It should be the offending homeowner. They are the ones that are creating the problem, which are upstream.
I don't disagree. And I struggle with the buyer beware concept all the way through, which is why I have an issue with the private roads, right? I mean, I see all of it, and I empathize with every owner along the way. Yet I struggle now moving forward with phase 2, knowing that we are going to compound the situation. And I know that it's not something that you can address because I know it is upstream. And I think I remember Bill's discussion about fixing the problem. And we said the same thing that you would have said. No, that doesn't fix the situation. Yeah.
The public comment or at the plan commission, obviously at each step of the process, this issue has come up. And we were operating under the assumption that the issue was being resolved independently of the approval process. And May is, her comments were correct. We've been following all the ordinances to go through the process and met all the requirements. The conversation at the public hearing at the Plan Commission as the body empowered to make the decision of approval, basically said, we're not going to hold the downstream developer hostage because of the sins of people that are upstream from them. And that is how it got approved at Plan Commission level, with the understanding that it was a work in progress.
Yeah, but so either you get held hostage or the homeowner gets held hostage where their kids are drinking the water. This is my struggle. Would you want your kids to drink that? No. Would it?
So
I'm thinking out loud, and maybe I should stop. But
I just want to make one more comment just to help you maybe think through it all. When we look at development in the county, we don't hold a developer accountable. The development that would happen here, yes, there's sewage going through the site. Ultimately, we need to find the point source for that, correct that situation, and that will alleviate it for the entire area. The new development that's occurring is on very low density, high acreage lots that have plenty of room for septic systems and therefore would not create a new issue should they maintain their septic systems.
so Rock Point 1 does not have adequate space for sewage systems or for septic systems?
The lots in question that are causing issues for sewage are individual lots privately developed along the county road.
Outside of Rockport 1,
Yes.
So they're smaller. Is that what you're saying?
The ones, yes, the ones that are along the road there, yes.
Are they the ones that's above the pink line?
Yes, that's correct. Not that vacant lot there, Bob, but yes, along the county road.
So how quickly can the health department address these issues? For a solution? Yeah.
Well, we're looking at approximately 7 properties, one of which has complied. And it takes about a week for us to do the dye testing all the way to the end to verify if anything came out on the other end. So I would say a year plus at least, because then they need to fix it.
Yeah, but the health department's been knowing this for several years already. Why are we at this point? Why haven't we?
Because
Precedent.
the property owners won't let us in.
Well,
They may
then-
be somewhat aware of the issue,
Well, then
and fixing a septic is,
let's get the county attorneys involved and let's
yes,
get a court order.
absolutely.
So we recognize that the developer isn't responsible for this. So, but I guess it comes down to can we approve this without, in good faith? We're still in the public hearing phase. So, Chris, you had your comment. Anybody else to speak against?
I'm Alice Shetler. I live at 62518 County Road 29.
So basically with Chris.
Right, we bought the house together.
Thank you.
The property with the most sewage problem, actually the ditch invades all 3 of the properties developed with the frontage on County Road 29. One of the first county employees that came to our house to speak with us about this said, we should never have issued a permit to build a house on this property. Now there's questions about things on the second development here. So in 10 years, when this comes back up, will the county again say we should never have issued a permit? In just a few minutes, we'll be leaving here and we'll know whether Elkhart County standards concerning open sewage and development apply to all residents of Elkhart County or just to those of us who don't have a means of leveraging county officials. Thank you.
Anybody else to speak against or in favor?
Steve Warner, excuse me. First of all, the younger Mr. Shetler made several incorrect statements. Elkhart County Health Department, excuse me again, has known of this situation for 15+ years. I first spoke with Elkhart County Health Department prior to my dividing the lots along County Road 29. At that time, they attempted to dye sewage coming out of that line and dropped the ball, gave up, whatever you want to say. So it is entirely on the homeowners north of the lot on County Road 29 and the Elkhart County Health Department. Should it take 15 years to find the answer to that? And in my opinion, working that land for 30, 35+ years, that sewage comes down a grassed waterway, a heavy, thick grassed waterway. It never makes it, in my opinion, to the edge of Rock Point second, first lot. It never comes close. Through natural heavy filtration to that point. So this sits entirely on however fast Elkhart County Health Department wants to take action on this matter.
Have you ever had Rock Point 1 or Rock Point 2 before development tested for discharge, sewage discharge?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Prior to the first subdivision, the 5 lots along County Road 29, I contacted Elkhart County Health Department because I'd seen this for years. And maybe it's on me that, you know, I should have been more of a ramrod to get progress on that. But turning it over to them, I incorrectly assumed that they would find the source and take care of it.
Any other comment? Any
Nope.
questions for Mr. Warner? Thank you. Anybody else to speak in favor or against? Come on up, state your name and address, please.
Yeah, my name's Zane Gillen. I live 16507 Stony Lane. So I am actually here representing James and Joyce Yoder, who are neighbors of mine. Mr. Yoder couldn't be here today because of some health reasons, but he just simply asked me to convey to the commissioners that some of the residents on Stony Lane, which lies just to the south of the property, have had some flooding issues in the past. If there's a big rain and snow melt, water ends up in basements. And this has happened a few times. He's lived there 40 years, so he knows more about it than anybody. But he just asked me to convey to you folks that if that property is developed, he believes that the situation will even be worse for the residents. on Stony Lane.
Stony Lane's not part of Rock Point 1, correct? It's not.
And it's not private road.
It's a county road. Stony Lane is county.
But it's not Rock Point 1, Steve. I can't see what you're saying. Is it Rock Point 1 or no? Just no. Okay, thank you.
Well,
Okay.
There could be an argument, and you will let the developer say, but maybe in their drainage plan, this flooding could actually improve the drainage. I don't know.
Right, yeah. I don't know. That was his message. I'm the messenger at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else in favor or against?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. Discussion? Any questions for staff? Staff, do you want to say anything else?
Danny Dean again. Just one procedural clarification. Again, the subdivision has already been approved. What is before you today, just as a reminder, is the right-of-way dedication on County Road 29. You can choose to withhold your signature, and then we would not be able to record the plat. But I just wanted to restate what is before you today. It is also not a rezoning. The subdivision is already approved. There's no rezoning. It's just a small amount of dedication for your consideration.
So all we're voting on is the right to, come off of County Road 29 into where the private road's gonna be.
Well, it's not the right to come out and in and out of the subdivision. It's the 40
Dedicated
feet
to it.
required minimum dedication on 29.
So they're not even, in theory, it's not even like a permit, a driveway permit to get onto 29?
No, what you are doing today would not relate to a permit. No.
It's just to the benefit of the county, like any dedicated right of way. So if in the future you wanted to expand the road or put in utility, you have the right to do so. It's just accepting that property from the
So-
developer.
At that point, can we make sure that there's a sign that labels it as a private drive?
There's nothing that would dictate that at this time. No, there's no standard for that. We can make that request now and ask that be done, yes.
Yes, I think it needs to be done.
Okay.
As irritated as I am about the drainage and the raw sewage, I don't know that that's part of the request today. So even if we tabled it, I think we've made it clear
Yeah.
to the health department that they have less than a year to deal with this, Melanie. Okay. I don't know what else you guys want to do. What do you think?
To me, it's appalling that people have raw sewage running down the back sides of their house or in ditches or whatever. I guess, yeah. I'm not gonna oppose, this subdivision.
Well, we're not doing the subdivision, we're doing the right of way,
Right, I'm not opposed.
correct? Just the right of way.
So I think regardless of how it's voted, I think that the Shettlers and the other people that are impacted by this know that the commission board is going to keep the heat on to get this resolved because
Stick around.
this is disappointing at best. Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the right of way
Second,
with a private drive sign.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Thank you. Any board items? Seeing none, we had two people sign up for privilege of the floor, but they also spoke at the public hearing. So did you need to speak again? Okay. Any others? Seeing none.
Motion to adjourn.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned. We do have an open house for the Salvation Army tomorrow from 1 to 3 in this room. Bring non-perishable foods for benefit of the Salvation Army. Thank you.